Alright, so boom. Far From Perfect. Great song choice. Far From Perfect is one of my first, I don't know if you would call it a hit, but widely recognizable songs. I could perform it and people know the words to it. As far as for the inception of the song, it did go on my project Infinite Vibes from the Lands of Finesse, right? And it was one of them songs that shit just came easy as fuck. Like literally, I was recording every day at the time. And most songs that I have, you kind of build on over time. But this shit, it just was like that. Figured out the keys for it, made the beat around it, and already had the melody. And it was easy. It's probably one of the easiest songs I think I've ever written. But as far as what it's about, it's just trying to find ways to vocalize being an ain't shit ass nigga. But also at the same time, explaining to somebody that you ain't shit. You know what I mean? From the jump, it's just like, so what you thought when you got with a nigga like me? That I would change what I tried with and die bad habits and all. But it's like, you can still see that there's a tinge of emotional maturity. Like, it's like, this is like the step you get in a nigga before he becomes a better person. Like, this is like still like you got a nigga that's acting goofy, but you can see, he can recognize him. What I like about my writing at that time, even though I was a lot younger, is you can still see some very good self-awareness that was coming through in the writing. And it was coming out in a melodic way too, which I thought was really, really dope. But later in the song, you can see that there's a mirror that gets shined on the concept. So with the first, verse is more so reflective about like, I'm not doing this shit right, I'm not doing that shit right, yada yada yada. We get to the second verse and it's like, well bitch, you kind of ain't shit either, huh? Well, not second verse, third verse. Shout out to Zay Blaze, he came through and killed the second verse. The nigga had a wild ass pun. He was like, I forgot what it was, but Tai Chi, Chai Tea, I don't know, it was Tai Chi and Chai Tea. I was like, god damn, that was smart as fuck. But yeah, so it was really just about being self-reflective or whatnot, looking at myself and being honest. But then it's like, once you get to the next verse, I ain't perfect, you ain't worth it, you just extra clown shit. You a circus running circles round niggas, like it's just like, okay, no, it's just like, wait a minute, let me not just shit on myself. It goes both ways. But on a more realistic note, at that time, that's what I was going through. It was just a lot of frustrations, and at the time, I didn't know. Well, not I didn't know, but I couldn't communicate my emotions in the best way with my partner at that time. And music was the best way to do it, which is funny because it was, as eloquent as it was still a lot of heavy shit talking. But to this day, that's one of my favorite songs. That's one of the first songs that I really explored singing on. I had a lot of people at that time ask me like, yo, you got such a singer? I'm like, nah, it was me. I did it. It's my amazing buttery vocals that you hear. Shout out to my sister Sappy, man. I did it. Again, I'm not a good singer, right? But I figured it out. I'm getting better at it, especially at that time. So like once I figure out certain runs and certain things, I run that bitch into the ground. I remember I when I did it live, I'd be like, you ain't even guess. And she would be like, that you did an Omarion ass note. And I'm like, damn. That was some Omarion ass shit. But God, let me have my... That's all I got, baby. That's all I got. But yeah, Far From Perfect. Great song. If you would like to hear it for reference, it is on all streaming platforms on Infinite Vibes from the Lands of Finesse. It wasn't there for a while, but thankfully got everything back up. Working on getting the Broncos apartment back up. And yeah, go stream it. Check out the new stuff. And love me. Love yourself.